There it is. You see the ripped up piece of paper? I was mad before the video was about what we're going to talk about today. But yeah, it's Arizona Cardinals Cast 11/3/2022. Let's get to it. Okay. Yep. There it is. Read and weed it. It's a rainy day, a rainy morning in Vegas. Well, the rain's already passed, but it was raining earlier this morning in Vegas. Mountain snow, about 8 miles west of my house. There's snowing, it just looks so beautiful. It's not beautiful. Watching the Arizona Cardinals play football. And we're going to pose the question today. As I said, you want your pom-poms? You got your pom-poms? Cha-cha. Pom-poms, look at me. I'm such an optimistic Cardinals fan. Yay, everything's great. Everything is awesome. You're at the wrong channel. We're going to pose the subject. Tomorrow we're going to talk about what the Cardinals have to do to win, to save their season. Today we're going to talk about what if the Cardinals, what everybody seems to be picking, happens. They lose. The national media, Bill Simmons hates the Cardinals. Seth Wickersham hates the Cardinals. I'm sorry, I'm saying you guys hate the Cardinals because you pick them to lose every week. I see in your $1 million pick, Simmons, you're always picking the Cardinals to stink. Kingsbury stinks. Murray stinks. CBS, Pete Prisco, Cardinals. You used to be pro-Cardinals. Now you're anti-Cardinals. Cardinals stink. Everybody thinks the Cardinals stink. And, you see in the Drew rating, they got a -8 rating. They're among the worst in the league. They're number 25 in my power rankings. They're around number 25 in every power ranking right now. So go out there and prove it. Here's the thing. If they lose, tear it to the stubs, if you know what I mean. As John Gambadoro would say, the season is over. O-V-A, over. And that's what he's going to say, obviously. I'm sure that I haven't listened to your radio show with Dave Burns this week, but I'm sure that's what you're saying. It's over if the Cardinals lose this week, because it is. You're down 3 on Seattle, and they have swept you. So that means you would have to finish 4 games better in Seattle over the last 9, which means pretty much you'd have to go 5-4, and they go 1-8 to finish that up in the standings. Probably not happening. But I am cautiously optimistic. It is Geno Smith, and I know Geno Smith, oh my gosh, Geno Smith. It's Rich Gannon 2.0, just turning around in his 30s with the new team, like Rich Gannon did with the Raiders. That's really the only comp you have for Geno Smith. One player in the history of football is the only comp that you have. A guy who was underwhelming, backup, bounced around like Rich Gannon did with the Vikings and the Chiefs. For anyone who's my age or older, remembers Rich Gannon, like pre-Raiders Rich Gannon. That's what you're saying about Geno. Okay, Geno, bust with the Jets. I mean, second-round picks are kind of bust, kind of not. But, with Rex Ryan, and then, with Rex Ryan, it just didn't work out. And then he goes to the Giants, weird situation. Maybe they just need to get him out of New Jersey, right? Maybe Geno, for good old Eugene Smith, New Jersey just wasn't the state for him. Get him to Seattle. He was Russell Wilson's backup for a few seasons. Got to play 4 games last year. Had an awesome drive against the Rams, and then threw a tragic interception that pretty much ended their chance of winning for the Seahawks against the Rams. And then he had a mid game against the Steelers, strip sacked by T.J. Watt, lost in overtime. Then had a terrible game against the Saints on a rainy Monday night, and then had a really good game against Urban Meyer Jaguars, who, as we all know, was one of the biggest train wrecks of any team, any season. We even had some winless teams in recent memory, the Lions and Browns, down with those teams. Like just how much of a mess the Jaguars were last year. This year, Geno, 107 passer rating. As I wrote yesterday, Russell Wilson only had 2 better seasons in terms of passer rating, 2015 and 2018 than that. Even though Russell Wilson had 7 seasons with 100 or better passer rating in Seattle. Obviously, Russ was amazing. Russ is having his worst season with the Broncos. But, I say, when I mean tear it down to the stubs, to get back on the subject of what if the Cards lose. If the Cards lose, Cliff is done. He might make it to the end of the season. I would say screw it. Fire him on Monday and have Vance Joseph take over. I know you gave him a contract extension. But you remember when the Rams gave Jeff Fisher in 2016 a contract extension. A lot of times it's in good faith. That's owner money. It's not cap money. Michael Bidwell can be like, I'm just going to eat the $35 million. You know, it's almost like a tax because you're going to lose interest from the fan base if you keep Cliff Kingsbury. Just saying. At this point, the fans will show up. There'll be a lot of 12s, unfortunately, as there usually is when the Seahawks come to State Farm. But the Seahawks... But, you know, the Cards will still have support. There's still some cautious optimism from a lot of fans, including myself. You see the talent. You see that the Cardinals, the two best teams in the NFC so far this year, have been the Vikings and the Eagles. And the Cardinals played with both of them, had opportunities to win the game, and just jacked it up pretty much. The Cards had opportunities to beat both those teams, both of the two best teams. The Eagles, they're the closest to beating the Eagles, and then Minnesota, Cardinals had, 27 chances in the fourth quarter. You know, the muff punt, the interception, the turnover on downs, and then Kyler Murray getting sacked twice in the game. Many chances, many chances. So, the season is still out there. Pretty much, unfortunately, this is what's going to have to happen, everyone. I know you're going to be like, Andrew, why are you going there? But I'm going there. These are the two things you have to root for the next 2 weeks. That could put the Cardinals either in first place or playing for first place in Mexico in 3 weeks, which this is not really that unrealistic. Cardinals win their next 2 games. Tom Brady wins his next 2 games. Tom Brady wins in Tampa this Sunday and in Munich, Germany the following Sunday. The newly single man Tom Brady. All the single Bradys. All the single Bradys. Yep. Tom Brady. 2 wins. Cardinals, 2 wins. Guess what? You're 5-5. You're in at worst second place, assuming the Niners beat the Chargers off a bye. If the Niners lose to the Chargers off a bye, you're actually in first place. Regardless of what happens in San Francisco next Sunday night against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers, you win your next 2 games and Tom Brady wins his next 2 games. You're playing for first place in Mexico, and all of a sudden everything looks sunny, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I took the Cardinals, plus 1,200 to make the playoffs, which those are some crazy odds. If you actually believe that this team could turn it around, it's hard with how undisciplined they've been so far and how inconsistent Kyler Murray has been. You know what I will say about Kyler Murray since DeAndre Hopkins has looked back? He's looked a lot more confident. And honestly, you could say, and I'm not blaming him. The first interception was an ill-advised throw. He had pressure on him. Probably should have not thrown the ball there down the field to Robbie Anderson. The second interception looked like it was miscommunication. Actually, I'm going to blame Zach Ertz on that. He was expecting Ertz to go up the field. Ertz stopped his route, and Kyler threw where Ertz was supposed to be. Obviously, throw high over the middle. There's almost always going to be a safety there ready to intercept the football. It's always a dangerous throw, even though in today's NFL, because tight ends and wide receivers can't get their clocks clean like it's 1994, the middle of the field is kind of the offense is when it used to be the defense. So, if the Cards lose, it's over. If the Cards win, and the Rams, especially the Rams lose to Tampa, which I'm predicting, the Cards actually, have another huge game against the Rams next week, where we'll probably also say, if they lose that game, the season's over. But opportunity awaits. Let's go get it, Cards. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Let's not be singing REM Everybody Hurts on Monday. Have a good day.